Two words, two lives. One meant to rip the flesh, the other meant to brand the mind as empty, and yet both survive to haunt our conversations, our texts, our laughter. Tonight, we uncover their secret lives, their hidden violence, and the twisted path that led them to become ordinary words. By the end, you will never hear nice the same way. You may never drop sarcasm innocently again, and you'll understand that words are more dangerous than you think. Imagine walking into an arena. The crowd murmurs, shadows flicker, and the air itself seems to carry anticipation and fear. This was ancient Greece, a cradle of wisdom, philosophy, and cruelty disguised as wit. The word we now call sarcasm, originally sarkazein, did not merely mean just to jest. Rather, it meant to tear flesh like dogs. Every sneer, every mock, every cutting remark was alive, sharp, and dangerous. Imagine the terror in a debate, the silence after a cunning insult, and the weight of knowing your words could hurt more than a sword. Sarcasm was not harmless. It was survival. A weapon forged in the minds of the clever, wielded against the careless, the arrogant, and the ignorant. And tonight, we peel back the centuries to see the sharp edges that hides beneath the smiles and laughs of today. Centuries later, another word waited quietly, hiding in the shadows of Latin manuscripts. Nescio, necius, ignorant, unaware, void of understanding. Imagine being labeled nice in those times. Not kind, not polite, but empty, hollow, a mark of mental vacancy. To be nice was to be unseen, unheard, dismissed, or erased in a polite society. And yet, like all living words, it persisted. It waited for centuries, observing, watching, and absorbing every nuance of human behavior, every shift of society, ready to transform when the time was right. Words have long memories. Every sound they carry comes from somewhere. And nice, its innocent letters once hid a darker truth. Time is cruel to words that cannot adapt. But these two, they survived. Nice traveled from Latin to Old English, morphing through insult after insult, ignorant, foolish, dull, meaningless. Every century sharpened it, polished it, until the sting was hidden under polite curves of letters. Sarcasm, on the other hand, never lost its edge, its bite and the shadow it was born from. In crowded medieval halls, a well-placed sneer could topple reputations. A sharp remark could cut deeper than any blade, and somehow, it turned into humor. The peril became a show, the sharp points masked by intelligence, words adapted, or maybe they lasted by tricking our minds.
Look closely. Words are alive. They mutate, they adapt, they inherit memory. Every nice you say carries echoes of centuries of judgment. Every sarcastic comment contains fragments of ancient cruelty, of teeth and blood disguised in laughter. And we, unsuspecting, continue to speak them, thinking they are innocent. But words never forget. They bear witness, and they remember who they once were. Then came an age of refinement, manners, and polite society. Nice shed its old skin, abandoning shame for elegance, becoming polite, pleasant, civilized. Sarcasm, battered and dangerous, entered comedy, satire, theater, still biting, but cloaked in humor. Redemption? Perhaps. Or betrayal? Their bones, their histories, remained. Underneath the silk and laughter, under every compliment and witty jab, lie the marks of cruelty, judgment, and survival. And you use them every day, unaware of their power and dark history. Walk through your city streets, glance at your phone, read your messages. Every nice job, every subtle haha, every sarcastic remark carries centuries of history. You may have never realized it because words behave like living beings. They whisper, judge, harm, and even charm. They appear ordinary, even harmless. But their history lingers quietly behind every sentence. And if you really pay attention, you might feel the sharpness beneath. Envision every word as a living force. Some are hunters, some are tricksters. Nice. Once executed intellect without a sound. Sarcasm. Once prowled like a predator on stage. And here we are, believing they're harmless. But words keep their memories, They've survived empires, wield sharper edges than weapons, and carry risks we rarely notice. Tonight, you've walked with 2 words through centuries of chaos, insults, evolution, and pure linguistic mischief. You felt their teeth, heard their whispers, and now you know, language is far more unhinged than anyone ever warned you before. And trust me, this graveyard of words, it's bottomless. So tell me, which forgotten creature should we dig up next? Drop it in the comments. And yes, like the video. Subscribe to this channel, go on. Pretend you discovered this channel by accident. We'll both keep the lie going. Because the next word I show you might ruin your vocabulary forever.